Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I'm Hungry podcast. I'm Foster.
I'm Daniel.
We're back at it again. Is this a week in a row? Do we get consecutive this
I
time?
think we did. It's even less than a week because we were late last time.
Nice, nice.
So we're at early this week.
Look at that. But yeah. So what is this? Like my third week in classes?
Yeah, my
It's gone by in a blur, honestly.
wait, this is your third week?
Or second, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've have had like a week and a half of classes. So yeah, it has gone by really fast.
What what have I been doing? Dude, these classes, like I was telling my roommate earlier, for some reason they're just a lot more stressful for me this semester, and I don't know why. Like
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about how it could be the just because it's the beginning of the semester. Do you think that's it, or is it the classes
maybe,
are
but
definitely
also at the
different?
same time, I don't know. Like they feel different because, and there's also like, I don't know. Like there's a lot more. It's a lot more involved. Like I think the teachers are finally like figuring out how to sort of teach better on Zoom. I don't know if it's better teaching or just like more work to do, but I don't know.
Better
Like
teaching equals more work.
no, yeah, fucking. I feel like I have more work to do, but it's like more involved work. I guess it's more like consistent, but at the same time, I think the thing that's stressing me out is that like for a lot of my classes, like the due dates and like when things are due and like what's due when, it's kind of all over the place right now. Like my math
Yeah.
class is like, it's like, oh, sometimes like there's a prep due every week that you have to do, and then there's also like a practice that you need to do in class, and then there's also the homework, but that's just due on its own.
Yeah.
And like two other, like the prep and like the homework or like, yeah, like those aren't even on like the calendar, so you have to like check the actual like Canvas page, and it's just like gets kind of fucky. um
Yeah. Canvas is the ASU online platform.
yeah, do you use Canvas?
No, we have a D2L,
The fuck is
desire to learn is what that means.
desire to learn? Oh
With a
my
two,
god.
not two, like not like the word two, the number two. So it's
D2L.
D2L. It's the
Interesting.
cringiest thing I've ever heard.
But yeah, so like that's one thing, and then like I don't know, like maybe I'm just sort of like a little more stressed out because it's like it's more consistent work. Like
Yeah,
I have something due probably like every other day, at least.
right. Yeah. I
And
have the
whereas
same
last
thing.
semester it was like I had a bunch of shit due on like Sunday
Yeah, yeah, right.
every
That
week.
was yeah, I definitely am getting some of that too. Like I have physics assignments due every class and there's 3 classes a week. So there's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday taken care of, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are my math and chemistry class. And I'm pretty sure I have one homework per class for math, and
Yeah.
probably I think chemistry is. Yeah, so it's like it's the same thing where it's like you really have to pace out your schedule. And the thing that's the
Yeah.
most stressful for me about the new semester is the like figuring out the routine. I still don't know when I need to do the homework assignments for certain
Same.
classes, you
Same.
know? So I'm like, what I keep my agenda or my planner, and as I'm going through, I'm making a note of like what is naturally just happening, like how I'm doing things. And then I'm going to try and remember that so that I can, in the future, instead of writing, one assignment like several days before it's due, I'll just put it on the day where I know I'll be able to do it, or on the days when I know I usually work on those naturally, and then it'll be like work itself out, and it'll be a lot less stressful. Like that's what happened last semester. That's what I'm trying to do this semester. It's just always
Yeah.
it seems like it's always going to be a pain to get through those first few weeks in terms of planning.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, freshmen, I was wondering, freshmen, do you guys? Because we talked about how in high school, you don't really have the same kind of anticipation for the second semester. Uh, are you guys experiencing any new stress because of the second semester, or is it like the same old grind? Like, do you
Yeah.
think we're correct that it's different?
Leave it in the comments below. Fucking.
Like and
Like
subscribe.
and subscribe. Turn that bell on for notifications. No, but yeah. So it's like, yeah, I definitely still need to get in my routine as well. And but yeah, I there's a lot less downtime this semester for me so far. Like
Oh, really?
I haven't really been just like sitting in my room, like thinking about whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's because I actually like have friends now, or what.
Oh yeah, well that'll
But
help.
but um but yeah, less downtime, and it's been feeling good because it's not as like hectic. I guess I don't know. Like
Okay, so it's more busy, but it's not like
yeah,
chaos.
it's like yeah, because when I'm just like sitting in my dorm, I'm thinking about my homework, right, and it's stressing me
Yeah,
out. But when I'm out or like with friends or something, I'm not thinking about homework. I'm thinking about friends, right?
yeah, right,
So it's like it's less stressful for me.
right. Yeah, that's good.
I've been skating. I've been rollerblading.
Nice.
The weather's great right now. I don't know how it is down in Tucson, but it's like it's cloudy. It's like raining a little bit.
Yeah, the same down here.
So it's real perfect for me at least. I love this kind of weather.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, as long as it's sunny, I'm good. I do not like flat gray overcast
Oh,
days.
I
If it's
love flat gray
I
overcast.
hate that so much. It makes me like depressed, and I don't want to do anything all day.
The
It sucks.
sun, like when I
I would
want,
rather it be like storming. If it's storming, I am inspired to do things. If it's like in
when
between storming and sunny, I
yeah,
just can't take it. I don't
I'm
mind the
like the
cloud. Like I don't mind
opposite.
storm clouds if there's blue sky around them. But if it's just flat,
No, I
dull
love the
gray,
flat gray. Like that's the best in my opinion. And then like
terrible.
storming is like next up. But like if I walk outside and it's like a clear day, blue sky above me, and the sun is out, I that's what makes me depressed. I don't know why, but I'll just be like, fuck, because like I don't know, I'm very sensitive to temperature. I get very hot
Okay.
easily. I get hot easily, so it's like I like the cold. So when it's sunny outside, and if I'm just like sitting in the sun for like 5 minutes, I'm gonna start sweating, and I hate that. So
So is
when I
your
see the sun, I'm like, go away. Like no.
is your favorite season winter or
Yes.
summer then? Okay.
Winter.
Yeah, mine's summer. So there you go.
Uh,
I enjoy the best days in summer are when it's totally cloudless, maybe with a few little clouds just for aesthetic, but pretty much totally cloudless, bright sun, but
mm-mm.
wind. So
Mm.
it's like really hot still, but the wind's there. So it's I don't ever really get overheated,
I get overheated.
especially if it's windy. So it's like I want to go outside and play like all day.
No.
That's the kind of days
I
that
see
are
if I walk outside and I see the bright sun, the cicadas are going. It's like, I'm just like,
yeah, the cicadas.
fuck.
Yeah, like the cicadas are only nice if it's not humid. If it's humid and there's cicadas, then the cicadas suck. But if it's like dry heat and there's cicadas, that's totally fine. I like it. That's like part of the summer aesthetic.
No, summer aesthetic is the worst. I hate the summer aesthetic.
What about spring?
Spring's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's like a baby summer, so it still kind of sucks, but like
Yeah,
not
I was
as
gonna say
much.
it's like the transition from what you like into what you don't like. So I
Yeah.
would imagine that it's still pretty bad.
Um, I've been going to. I'm thinking about rushing to like join a frat
Yeah, you
at
mentioned that last
ASU.
week.
So I've been to like a couple of their of like different frats rush events, and like I
Nice.
went to like like a walk around at like the Greek Leadership Village is what it is at ASU, where like I talked to a bunch of like the spokespeople from like different frats and stuff like that. It's
Does it look
it's
interesting?
cool. It's cool. I think I talked about it, like I'm still kind of on the fence because like I never pictured myself as like a frat guy,
Yeah.
but at the same time it is appealing, right?
Right.
Like the idea of having like a bunch of guys that you can just like have like sort of a built-in friend group with, and then also at least like ASU, if you're not in a frat, it's pretty hard to like go do anything on like weekends because all the girls are like out at frat parties. but But like you could either go like two routes. You could either get like you could either join a frat and like have like crazy parties, or you could like get a friend group and just have like a bunch of chill, laid back, like cool times.
Yeah.
And honestly, I kind of want to go wild now a
You're
little
the-
bit. I
you're the
kind of, I don't know. Like I kind of I didn't do that in high school. Like I wasn't a party guy in high school.
Yeah.
Like I knew a bunch of people that would go to all these parties like at people's houses, and it would be like bumping, loud music, people jumped around everywhere, and I'd be like I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
but now that I'm in college, it's like I have the freedom to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, high school parties always seemed a little like, I don't know what the word, like, lame, I guess, just
yeah,
because it's high schoolers. Like,
yeah.
I don't
Like
know. I never
high school
ever went
didn't
to
seem the
anything you could classify
time.
as what?
It didn't seem like the time to do that kind of stuff in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not, it's not appropriate. Not
Yeah.
like in the like admonishing way, but it's just
Whoa.
not like the appropriate
Your
time to.
microphone's going robot a little bit.
Oh, is it really? Is it better now?
Yeah, a little bit. It was just going
How
robot.
about now?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, my computer screen turned off. Maybe it was like confused by my computer sleeping.
IDK.
All right, I'll make sure it doesn't happen. Let me know if it happens again.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's not lame in the like admonishing way, but like lame in the like, or sorry, not inappropriate in the admonishing way, but inappropriate in the way that's like, I mean, is that really what like high schoolers should be doing, or like that's definitely more
Yeah.
appropriate thing for college students to be doing because you're pretty much in charge of yourself.
I definitely feel like big party time is like now for me at least, like college. So like that's another reason why I kind of want to join a frat is because I want to have memories of college where it's like, whoa, that shit was crazy. Because it's like I'm not yet an adult, right? Where I have like responsibilities, but I'm also not a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have just enough responsibility to where I can be irresponsible to a degree.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts, and then also, I don't know, like from at least some of the frats that I've seen at ASU, they actually like do like a lot for in terms of like connections, like business connections, and like just people in your frat. And then as well, like there's some frats that really like put like on a pedestal like personal and like self-achievement. Like there's this one I was looking at their Instagram today, and they were posting all of their different like members, and there was guys that had internships like across like the world. Like some had internships in like London, they were doing study abroad, and others were like super into like sports. Like one guy was doing cycling or whatever. And I thought it was interesting because they were advertising sort of like this like personal achievement aspect of the frat, and a lot of them were also in the honors college at ASU is what they mentioned in like the descriptions of the posts and stuff as well, which I liked because it showed me at least that like we're not like just a bunch of dudes fucking around.
Yeah.
Because like that's what I want. I want a little bit of the fuck around, but I also want like we're a bunch of guys that are looking to get shit done.
Yeah, right. You want that some discipline mixed with the
Yeah. Like it's cliche, and if you go to the fucking like thing, all of them will tell you this, but it's like work hard, play harder, you know what I mean? Like that's what they all say. They're like, you know, we're really about just like work hard, play harder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, buddy. Like I still need to go to like a lot of the rush events for like the different frats and just see what's up with it. But yeah, some of them are pretty cool so far. I've only been to like one frat's rush event, and they're fun, but I need to look around a little more and see what's up. Even and like I still need to see if it's even right for me. You know what I mean? Because like it's
right.
interesting right now, but honestly, if I were to say like if you were to make me like if you came to me today and been like, okay, you need to decide right now if you're gonna be in a frat, I'd probably be like, no, just because
Yeah.
I don't really know what it's really like yet. I don't really know enough about all the different frats, so it's like
Yeah.
I'd probably still
I mean,
say
you
no
can't.
if you asked me to
Yeah,
do
you
it.
don't know enough to make the decision yet.
Yeah.
So I get that.
So that's
Well,
sort of been like my whole deal for this past like week is like thinking about
okay.
that shit.
I've been practicing and recording for my concerto competition. The deadline is 5 o'clock, 2 days from now. So I've
Mm.
got I'm got time in a practice room tomorrow to try and record like a good take, and then if that fails, I've got before the deadline on uh, the second day. I yesterday tried to record, or I signed up for a recording slot in the like actual auditorium instead of just the practice room. So I got to use like the big Steinway D on the stage and stuff, and they had recording equipment set up for me. And it was a totally bad take. Like I made so many mistakes because it was really like it was the first time I'd been on a stage since like this time last year.
Yeah.
So I was like extremely nervous, or not extremely nervous, but just nervous enough where
Like a
like
little awkward,
like,
you know?
yeah,
Still
it was
kind of
just
getting
not
your
great.
feet.
Yeah, exactly. So uh, I'm not going to use that recording, but it was really nice to play on a nice piano. After that recording session, I went back to the dorm. So I was all dressed up, my performance clothes, and I got in the elevator and I scanned my card and selected the fifth floor, and it went up to the fifth floor, and then the doors didn't open, and I was looking at my phone. So I didn't really notice this at first. I only noticed when it was like not opening for a while, and I looked up and it was at the second floor, and it said out of service now on like the little sign that shows you what floor.
Yo.
So I was like,
No.
and then so I was about to like, I was gonna maybe try to press the door open button or whatever, but then it started moving up again, and but it wasn't like the normal elevator motion. It was like really, really, really slow, and it was making this horrible like grinding
Oh
noise. It
no.
was terrible. It honestly felt like the
Were you terrified? Were you like, I'm gonna
haunted. I was a
die?
little. I was like, I was thinking haunted mansion style. Like at Disneyland where it takes you up to the top really, or you see a bunch of stuff and you go up to the top and then it opens up and you're at like the very top of the
Yeah.
tower, and then it just drops. So I was like, all right, if I get to the sixth floor, then I'm gonna die. Like I'm gonna actually be terrified. And so it like went up to. I was like, maybe it's just going back up to the fifth floor and it's gonna let me out where I wanted. So really slowly got to the fifth floor, and then it like kept going, and it was like, please don't turn to six, please don't turn to six, and it turned to six. I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. And it got up to the top and then like jerked down, and I was like,
No.
and then it just stopped. So nothing else happened. It made a few weird noises every now and then, but it was like just I think it just goes up to the sixth floor to like rest. But the
That's
jerk
kind of
down,
terrifying.
I was like the primary cord just snapped, and now I'm sitting on like the emergency cables, which definitely wasn't what happened, but that's what it felt like.
That's scary, bro.
Yeah.
What?
And so the door open button wouldn't work, so I pressed the call button. I had to choose between the like button with the phone on it and the button with the bell on it. And I went for the phone first because I didn't want to set off like giant alarms everywhere just because I was stuck in an elevator. So I pressed the phone, and there was like a dispatcher lady. I talked to her and told her like which elevator I was in, whatever. She wasn't actually at the dorm. She was like, I don't know, dispatcher elevator person for like all the elevators or something. So she said she was going to send the honors people, like the people in my dorm, to fix it, and she was also going to send like just general maintenance people to come as well, like tag team it, I guess, or something. But so she just told me to wait, and I waited in there for like half an hour. I played a game of chess on my phone. I just standing in there, and like I could hear other people walking around in the hallways.
They're like, I
outside.
wonder why the elevator isn't working.
I could hear people there because there's 4 elevators, so I could hear people like getting out of, coming up in other elevators and stuff. So I was just hanging out in there, and then eventually somebody showed up at the door, and they like started making a bunch of noises, and then they were like, "Is anybody in there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in here." And he's like, "Okay, I need to get a key to open the door, so I'm gonna go down and get the key." So he left for like longer than I would expect, and then the elevator like beeped and moved a little bit, and the doors opened, and no one was there. So I like walked out and then just went back to my room. I took the stairs down to my floor.
Yeah.
And then went back to my room. Later, I went down to the front desk and told them, because I didn't want to be. This was like from a moral, like a utilitarian standpoint. Like I don't want to like just disappear and then have them, if somebody's worrying like where did that kid who was stuck in the elevator go. So I went down to the front desk. Yeah, it just got like, is he dead now? So I just went down to the front desk, and there were like the reception people, and then I also saw two people who looked like they could have been working on the elevator down there. So I went up to them. I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know that I was stuck in the elevator for the last half hour, and I got out, so I'm okay." And so the front desk people had no idea that I was there, and the elevator maintenance people were there to work on the elevator, but they
But
were
they
just
didn't.
working on it remotely on like the roof because it was out of service. They did not know that I was in there. They didn't know there was a person in that elevator. So the doors opened because the guy on the roof like got it working again. But they didn't know that I was like in there. So I don't know what happened to the guy who knew that I was in there, who went to go get the key. Maybe that
Maybe
was like
he
one of
was
them.
the ghost.
Maybe he was. He was the ghost of
Ah,
another student who got stuck in the elevator and dropped.
dude,
So yeah, I'm
that's
never.
terrifying.
Yeah, I am going to try to not use that elevator again.
Yeah, like make a note of it and just avoid
Yeah,
that one. That one, that would be like that would freak me out if I was like stuck
it
in
was
an
pretty.
elevator by myself.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was not fun. It was not fun for like the first part, and then I was like,
And
okay,
then you were just
I
like, well,
know I
shit.
know that these elevators are designed so that it's literally impossible for them to drop people. So I'm just gonna play chess on my phone and pretend I'm on the first floor.
Yeah, there we go. Good mindset.
There we go. Positive thinking.
Um, what was I gonna say? That's but yeah, that's pretty eventful for a week, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that was all in one day too. That was That was such a weird day yesterday. Like, I went recorded on the nice piano, so that was fun. But the recording sucks. So I was like, yeah. And then I came back, immediately got stuck in an elevator for half an hour.
And then you're just
It was
like,
just,
okay.
it was just okay, whatever.
Something that happened to me this week. We had to sign up for like our housing for like next year,
Yeah.
and I got like fucked basically. Like this
Oh
shit
no.
was so dumb because I had a group together. It was supposed to be me, one of my friends, Nathan, and Will from Saguaro.
Okay.
And we all like made a group together, and we were like, okay, like we'll room together. But we didn't know that we needed to actually make like a group on like the ASU website with each other, like in the like a group like
Oh yeah,
formally
yeah.
on like the housing website. And like so the way it worked is there was like a registration period to like get like a lottery time so that you could enter into a room,
Right.
and it was based off like how soon you if like the like earlier that you registered, like earlier your time was. But we didn't know that, so all of us like registered at different times throughout the week, and we weren't in a group. And if we were like, so when the housing like actually opened and like lottery times started being like opened, uh we were
Yeah.
basically fucked because we weren't in a group, and all the rooms were being like taken up by other people,
Yeah.
and all of our times were separate. So like it's not like we could have all just hopped on at the same time and been like, okay, let's get in a room together.
Yeah.
And one of my friends, his name's Devin, like he was in a separate group with a bunch of people that like he was going to room with. But then like I asked him, and he was like, yeah, I'd rather room with you. And housing wouldn't let him out of that group.
Oh.
They were basically like, oh, like, sorry, you already made your decision, like, fuck you if you change your mind.
Oh jeez. That's
And
terrible.
yeah, so he couldn't do anything about that, and like the whole thing was just fucked. And like I kind of overslept too, and like Will and Nathan were like, they were just like, all right, fuck it. So like Will and Nathan like hopped into a room, and I was just like left by myself. So and then
Wait,
like
they hopped in a room together?
yeah, and
I
like
thought you said they couldn't. How'd they
well
do
they
that?
both like called each other, and like at the same time I was asleep,
Oh.
and they were like, okay, do you see this room? And I was like, yeah, okay. And then they
Oh
both
no.
like separately went into the same room together.
Okay.
And like when I woke up, the housing was supposed to close in like an hour.
You're like Sid the Sloth.
Yeah, like literally, like it was supposed to close in
Oh
like an
my.
hour, and like I didn't know this either. That's the thing. Like ASU, I'm sorry, but like you did such a bad job with housing this year. Like you did not let us know like at all like that we needed to register before a certain time, that we needed to be in a
Going
group with the people if we wanted to actually room with them. And I didn't even know that the housing was supposed to close in an hour until like Will texted me like, you better get in a fucking room. And I was like, oh shit. So fucking rushed through that shit and just hopped into a random room with like 3 dudes that
Oh
I
no.
don't even know who they are.
Oh
So
man.
those are supposed to be my roommates for next year. Nathan, Tyler, and like Abrim or something was his name. So
Well, they're your new best
new
friends.
best buds. Fucking, I'll see how that pans out. I guess. I don't
That's
know.
terrible.
I was able to like look at their profiles a little bit because ASU makes you make like a little profile,
Yeah. Same.
and like they they said in their profiles that like they work out and like they have hobbies and stuff like that. They like to listen to like music and
That's nice.
shit like that. So my assumption is that they're not just like recluse troglodyte looking assholes who are like greasy and gross and don't go outside and don't have any friends. So that's my hope, but you know we're gonna see. But yeah, fuck you ASU, fuck ASU housing.
I thought our
Y'all some
housing
real
was
motherfuckers.
bad. I thought U of A's housing process was bad, but that's not. I don't. Ours doesn't. I mean, unless I'm totally screwed, and I'm pretty sure I'm not because I checked. Like we have a housing portal, and it says on there pretty explicitly like what the deadlines are. So like and it's not this early. Like you guys had to select your rooms now. Like
Yeah,
you had to like commit.
for next year. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't have to do that until like May. Like that's the absolute deadline. So I have to do it before May.
Yeah, exactly. You think that like it doesn't make any sense to choose your housing for next year when you're like in your beginning of second semester.
Is it maybe just because you're no longer you're like an incoming sophomore? Like is it just because you're supposed to get priority? So they
No, it's because there was other like upperclassmen in there too. I saw there was like 20-year-olds, 21 year
well, yeah,
olds.
upperclassmen, but what about freshmen? Like maybe it's like, all the freshmen are going to be applying for their housing later because they want
No,
everyone.
because like at least in Barrett specifically, like all the complexes in Barrett are like mainly freshmen. So they have like their spaces.
Are you not in Barrett?
I am.
Oh, okay. Well, so wait, you applied for a room somewhere else next year, or is it
Yeah,
still in
because
Barrett?
there's upper division level
Oh,
housing
okay, yeah, yeah.
for like sophomores, juniors, seniors.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, but then that you wouldn't need. Yeah, that's crazy that it's this early.
Yeah, this it's just so scuffed, bro. It's
And they
fucking.
didn't send you any emails or anything like telling you what was going on.
They did, but I get like I get like 8,000 emails a day from like
Oh
all my
yeah, yeah,
Canvas
I know.
classes and like
Yeah.
saying like you got this assignment due and like also like they just mix it in with the bullshit. So it's like from ASU like Barrett Buzz, like weekly
Oh
newsletter for the
yeah,
Barrett people, and then it's like
yeah.
this Zoom speaker is gonna be on Friday, and then all of a sudden like mixed in there it's like hey, housing deadline is like tomorrow, and it's like I may like yeah it's on my bad I guess, but like still at the same time like I was talking to like a desk worker in the Barrett complex today because I was asking about like buses and stuff because I wanted to go downtown like to downtown Phoenix for like a little day or something, just like
Yeah.
walk around with some friends or something like that. And she was like, yeah, no, like normally your CAs would be like reminding you like, hey, registration ends this time, like housing is this time, like get your groups together, but like they didn't do that this year for some fucking reason, and I don't know why.
What?
It pisses me off. Like, so that also that's kind of like low key another reason why I'm looking at a frat right now, because
Oh yeah.
I'd be able if I get into a frat and like I'd be allowed to, I would probably be allowed to live in like the GLV, which is like just it's basically just like the frat houses.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, that would kind of. Yeah, that
it
would.
would be at least like
Solution.
somewhat better than living with 3 random dudes that I have no idea who they are.
Yeah. I'm trying to like I looked briefly at like the housing options next year, and I can do. They reserve the apartments or like the priority selection for like the apartments with like 4 people who have like their own rooms and whatever, uh, to sophomores and juniors and seniors. So I can select those now, and I looked and I want to do that, but like yeah, like you're saying, I don't want to be in a room with 3 random people. So I'm gonna try to like get a roommate group together who are maybe all musicians or something. That way I can like jam with them or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't want to like just be dropped into a
Yeah, and
apartment.
like another really fucking stupid thing about, I'm not sure if this is ASU as like a whole or maybe just specifically Barrett, but they are hella strict with like the housing leases, and it's like if you wanna, I'm pretty sure like if you like say if like I ended up living with like 3 random dudes next year, if I
Yeah.
wanted to like move out second semester and like get an apartment or something, I don't think they would allow that. I think they'd be like, no, fuck you. So
Wow.
that really pisses me off too, is because that had to make such a relatively long term decision
Yeah.
with such short notice, and like the I had it set up, but like because ASU for some arbitrary reason decided like, oh, you can't make groups with people after the registration deadline,
Yeah.
and also like just fuck you guys because lottery times. Like
Yeah,
it pisses me off.
that's pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure U of A isn't that strict nor that early with their housing stuff, unless I'm just totally gonna get screwed. I actually, because as you were telling me the story, I was putting a reminder on my calendar for next week to check the housing to make sure that they're not doing it the same way.
Yeah, no, be on top of that
But
shit. And it's
yeah,
like
that sucks.
I did talk like the lady I was talking to. She did tell me like a lot of people drop out though, like before like
Yeah,
next year. So she told me like before I come back in the summer, like contact housing and see if I can get like a housing transfer or just figure my shit out with my group.
right. Yeah, I they last oh, this year when I was applying for housing, I wasn't sure that I was going to get a room in the dorm that I wanted, so we like contacted some people and they said the same thing. Like people drop out pretty frequently especially now with the virus. So yeah, maybe I don't know. There's probably some things you could that might be
There's
solutions, but
probably some
like the frat.
loopholes and like
Yeah,
finagling.
yeah, exactly. That's interesting.
But yeah, pissing me off ASU. Fucking bullshit. But
Well, I've been
anyways,
playing uh chess. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of chess. And right now I'm in a daily game with Sebastian because apparently he plays chess too, and he's actually like he's rated higher than me, and he has like 200 plus. Or has 200 rapid games, which are like the timed
dude,
games, and then
Sebastian's hella smart.
like Sebastian, he has high ratings in every category of game on that website. He's played a lot more than me, like way more. So I don't know. And also, I just started like actually trying, but right now I think he is probably like overall a better chess player than me. But I'm really trying in this daily game. So daily is like you get
Like you get
24 hours to
one
make it.
move a day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going really slowly, but it's extremely interesting, and we're both playing, I think, pretty well. I actually ran what we've done so far through the engine on the website. It won't let you go up to where you are, but it will let you like run it up to like right before where you are. And we've both been playing like about the same. Like there's places where it's like this is an inaccuracy or whatever, but otherwise we're doing like good move, best move, best move, good move, best move. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. And he was like I ran into him last night, uh, and he was like, yeah, I think you see all the same, like we see all the same stuff. So it's a pretty good battle. He's up a pawn right now.
Ah.
Um, I sacrificed it by like removing its defender, my queen. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not really think about that. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna offer a queen trade now, and I didn't realize that by moving my queen, I was
Yeah.
not no longer defending. I left the pawn hanging, and so he just took the pawn instead of accepting the queen trade. So to be honest, I did not really think about that. I don't think, unless I did, and then I just forgot about why it was okay. Um, but I've been working very hard to try and post mortem make that pawn poisonous, and I'm doing a pretty good job so far. I've got his queen trapped in the center, so I think we're about to do like an exchange on my king side because I castled, and he's like making an attack on my king.
Yeah.
It's not going to turn into a checkmate or anything as far as it. Like I looked at it for like an hour today, and like went through everything I could think of, but we're gonna do like an exchange. He's still gonna be up a pawn probably, but his queen is the only thing that's saving all. He has like several pawns in the center, and his queen is the only thing guarding them. So if he makes any wrong move, I'm just gonna grab like 2 pawns and make it +1 me, or I'm at least gonna even the material. And most of those moves that I went through come with check too. So he loses tempo and I gain my material back. So I'm working very hard to like make that pawn like like one of those animals where after you eat it, it's like poisonous when you eat it. So then it like whatever. I really want it to be like
real life analogies.
Yeah, there we go. Biology. Yeah, so I'm trying really hard to like turn that probably non-poisonous pawn into something.
A poison. Yeah, I think you could do it.
Have grabbed.
You're smart enough.
I don't think. Yeah. I
to sticking with my theme of this year, I read a chapter of my book this morning. So
nice. What book is it again?
Dune.
Did you talk about it before? Because I don't remember.
Oh, it's like a pretty storied science fiction novel. It's pretty like I feel like it's pretty like popular. But I
feel like you did talk about it. All right,
yeah.
Well, I just forgot. So the audience knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like it. Do some research on it if you want. It's like a series.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like one of the seminal like science fiction novels. It's like
oh, I think
as like
word. I remember you talking about this book, and I think you used seminal then too, and then we talked about like the word seminal.
The word seminal. Yeah, I think so.
I'm remembering that kind of distinctly. Yeah, so I remember.
But yeah, it's like
the book.
If my understanding of its legacy is correct, it is like as 2001: A Space Odyssey is like science fiction movies. This is like that to books.
Well, what about 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book?
Well, obviously yes, but it's not as like. When you think of 2001: A Space Odyssey, you don't think of the book. You think of the movie.
I think of the book. I haven't seen the movie, and I've only read the book.
Okay, smarty pants, whatever. Never mind then. Forget I said anything. Either way.
No, yeah, you're right. Like that's a pretty weird.
I've always known it.
The theme song, the theme and like some of this.
Yeah, I've always known Dune as like a really like influential science fiction novel. So
okay,
now
cool.
I'm reading it. It's pretty interesting so far. I like it. It's good. It gives me a little bit of Percy Jackson vibes. Kinda.
Cool.
Like adult Percy Jackson.
Like adult, yeah. Okay, good. I mean, nothing against Percy Jackson, but I think we already discussed it doesn't. At least for me,
it doesn't hold up with skill and age.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
when you're reading that shit as like a preteen, you're like, yo,
yeah, whoa,
this shit's cool as fuck. You're like that fight with Ares in the first book. You're like, what the fuck? He's fighting a god. That's crazy.
And it's still cool. Like it's like the fact that the events are cool. It's just the writing is.
Yeah, it's made for kids. It's made for kids.
Yeah.
It's definitely a youth series.
Yeah, for sure. There was something that happened or that I saw from somebody else recently that was like, it reminded me of themes. And I was like, hey, they're actually doing. Oh, it was Biden's. I saw an article about like Biden's plan for the days of January, and he's doing themes. It's a little different from like what we talk about, but it's like on. Oh, I don't remember actually. It was like Thursday was coronavirus relief day. Today or yesterday was economy relief day, and then it's like Monday is equity. And then Tuesdays, it's like something like a schedule. And I feel like regardless of what your political beliefs are, I don't think we shouldn't talk about that stuff on the podcast probably, but regardless, all presidents in the first days of office, it's like a historical fact that they try and they get a lot done because a lot of people are usually like really excited about them, So I think that that theme idea is a really good way to get stuff done while also keeping the hype up, regardless of what president.
Hey Biden, if you're listening, like just drop a comment, dog. Honestly, like if you got the idea of themes from us, like it's okay. Like just give us our due like respects, and then just go on.
Actually, you know what? Credit goes to CGP Grey on YouTube. So we probably shouldn't. We probably
But
get in
like
trouble
if he's this
yeah.
okay, listen, Biden, if you're listening to CGP Grey, go for it. We gave him the respects too, but like if you're listening to us, give us a little
Give
shout
a little
out.
credit to
Give
him.
us a little
Yeah,
shout out.
shout out to us. But give the credit, the deeper credit to CGP Grey. But we get a little something too for promoting it.
Yeah, come on, Biden.
Anyway, so I just thought that was cool. Like I was like,
Something
it's kind of similar. It's like on a much more daily. It's a daily basis, but instead of like a year of one theme.
Something that I wanted to mention earlier. Now that I actually have a job, like even though it is Taco Bell, now that I actually have a job, I feel so much like less stressed, like routinely, because like I don't know. Yeah, because like last semester it was like such a big thing for me that was like I need to find a job around here because if I don't have a job, I'm not making money, and if I'm not making money, I can't pay for college.
Right.
But now that I'm like, I'm working like 10 hours a week, so it's like, or like 11ish, maybe 12.
Yeah.
So it's not something like that's like full time, but I'm at least making a little bit of money, and it's like. It's a huge weight off my shoulders.
It's satisfying, right? Like you accomplished both of those, or you satisfied both of those stressors.
So
like I gotta find a job because I gotta pay.
I would really love to like work in retail again. So
yeah, well, you're kind of in food retail.
Food retail, is that what we could call it? Yeah, I guess so. Food retail. I don't know, but I if I could find a job at like a retail place or something, that's why I kind of want to go downtown as well, because there's some like clothing stores that I'm interested in, and I could be like, yo, if you need any help,
that would be if you join a frat.
No, that's just job. That's just like a different job than
you're just saying go downtown with the job search, not necessarily like if you like go live downtown, then you have access to those. That's not what you're saying, right?
No. The first one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
So I'm this semester, while I do feel it is a little bit more stressful so far, and like we were saying, that might just be because of the early stages. While it is that, I definitely feel better about it. Like I feel more active and more like involved, I guess.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
Nice. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I mean, I feel the same way pretty much. I'm a little stressed because of the like concerto competition, but I'm gonna get a recording, and it's going to be over. And assuming that I don't win anything, then I'm gonna be done with it, and then I can keep working on my piece, like at my own pace, just for fun. And I'm not doing it anymore.
You'll win something.
Yeah. Well, sorry. I think you were saying like you'll win something, as in like I win the, I'm like done. That's like the achievement. I don't know, man. I guess it depends on who else is doing it, because other people in my studio are about as secure with their pieces as me. Like we all submitted our like early recordings to the studio class, and everyone made mistakes that were noticeable, but everyone was really good too. So we're all about an even playing field there. But if there's like a ton of other, like there are some crazy good pianists here. So like
you're gonna be
they're all
and Daniel, you're gonna be on top you're gonna be on top of all of them.
Okay.
I can tell.
Sure.
I can tell.
Sure. All right. Well, I'll get back to you next podcast.
Yeah, I want to hear that you brought home the gold. Okay.
All right. Okay. Prepare for disappointment.
Indeed. All right. So what should we title this one? I feel like this was a little bit like more of like a weekly journal type thing, is what we like sort of like set out to at the beginning.
Yeah. So maybe like I don't know. It was kind of getting back into it after the start of the semester.
Where's the routine? Or what's the routine?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. What's the routine?
Not only were we like wondering, or we were talking about how it's hard to find the routine, but we also got back to kind of our usual routine with the podcast.
Yeah. What's the routine? What's the routine, man? All right. comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for every time we upload. No, but for thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.